Hello, and finally, welcome to the Cave of Creation. You've seen the new intro, the entry to the cave, and we are now have left our temporary accommodation in Deescombe Manor and are happily settled in the cave itself. Today we're going to be doing a build through in Dungeon Alchemist that I used to create both that intro and the background that you can see, and is also used fairly heavily to create wonderful maps for tabletop RPGs, whether you want to print them out or whether you want to use them on a VTT. It's being labelled an immersion tool because you can create videos, you can put Hero Forge tokens inside the actual map, and we will look at some of that as we go. What I'm going to be doing today is creating a map for what they call their DAM challenge. And the DAM, which is DAM, Dungeon Alchemist Map, is the file extension for their maps. Every 2 weeks there's a new DAM challenge, and this one is Evil Lairs. And my Evil Lair is being dedicated to one of their moderators, Daggnabit, because I think he deserves his own Evil Lair. So remember, if you'd like this kind of content, please like, subscribe if you want to see more of it. See where we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're not really on Twitter anymore. Thanks Elon, he's just making that one too hard to do. We have our own dedicated Facebook server, Discord server, that you're all more than welcome to come and join. And please, anything you want to see anywhere else I should post, put it in the comments. The more you comment, the better the algorithm pumps out this channel. So if you'd like the channel, please put it in the comments. Please put any other content, whether it's Hero Forge, whether it's roleplay related, whether it's painting related. Let me know what you see. Just put a comment in to say hi. I will try and respond to every single one. It's fairly easy at the moment. There aren't many, but in the long term, if I get a lot of comments, I might struggle. That said, let's get into the map. So here we have the basic opening for Dungeon Alchemist. So I'm just going to go new map, digital. I'm not going to go with dark parchment, which is what that background is. Like any Evil Lair, I think it should be in a cave, and caves is part of their latest Everything is Lava update. Elevation, solid rock, so what do I want in there? I think it's going to be based in a large cavern. Vegetation, cave. I could have crystals. I can put in glowing mushrooms. He's fairly far out there, so Dag can have some glowing mushrooms to munch on. Water. I'm just going to have a river going through it. Weather, none. Room placement, cave. Light. So what kind of light should we have? Well, I think it's a bit of a mad scientist or an undead, do we think? I'm going to go with crypt lights. Then give it a moment or two and it will create a base terrain at 50 to 50 for me to work with. And then I can go in manually and adapt from there. This is just creating the climate. It doesn't put in any rooms, it doesn't put in any other systems, it just creates the overall. You can and have options to put in rooms. So zoom out a bit and see what we've actually got here. So there we have a fun little cave system for our friend Mr. Daggnabit. Daggnabit. And as you can see, we've got light posts. Now this is an Evil Lair. I know there was talk of, but I can't remember if it ever made it in. Yes, it did. How do I access it? Copy and paste. So what I'm going to do is make this torch pinky red, and I want to up the brightness. I'm now going to select it again and Control C to copy. Oh no, I don't want to rotate it. And then I'm going to come down here and go Control V. And what that will do is enable me to create a box covering the entire map that will convert all of my lights to that colour. Again, that lovely little trick went in with everything is lava, but it saves so much time. You can copy the full properties of one item and spread it around your entire map. And I'm going to do it again because that is a little too pink. And however funny that is, it doesn't quite fit the Evil Lair theme I'm going for. Or do I want a necrotic green? Let's go for the bulk necrotic green. And then I can go red or other colours as of where I see fit. Now over here, lighting controls the overall lighting for the entire scene. So it's a cave. I'm going to put my sun right overhead and minimize the lighting, but I should have in terrain shadows in caves. So that's on. And what that means is the shadows, you don't get the world shadows coming in from outside. Back to light and colour. And let's have something really deep and dark. So we've already got some personality coming in. But it's not really an evil lair yet. At the moment, the river's too small, so I'm going to brighten it up a bit so I can see what's going on. This is purely while I build. And then I'm going to come to terrain, cave carve out cave, erase ceiling, we'll put a hole in the ceiling. Redraw puts the entire ceiling back. Carve cave probably carves to about that level. So what I actually want to do is terrain, lower terrain. I want a small brush, but I want a lot of strength behind it, because what I'm going to come and do is deepen and widen this section. Now, part of the reason I'm dedicating this to Dagg is every Monday and every Saturday there are live streams on Twitch. And you've got the Dam Challenge and the Dam stream on a Saturday, and then on Monday the wonderful community manager Mac shows people how to make maps. But when we were discussing on last Saturdays what should be the new Dam Challenge, the idea for Evil Lair was proposed, and my proposition was actually it should be very specifically Daggs Evil Lair. So I am producing said thing. So this is just going to give us a little bit of a more interesting area so I can come up to objects and just search boat. And I want a canoe that looks in slightly better condition. And I'm going to place it there. Now I'm going to grab a paddle. I'm going to place that in the canoe. I might move it a bit when I can get a bit closer in. So deselect, zoom in, and let's see how this is doing. Then I can change colour. And I'm going to change it to black. I may move it and tweak that a bit. Then I want to be able to go from one side of the other on here. So that means coming down, and I want a bridge. As the amount of content grows on a regular basis, it's becoming more and more the best way to do anything will be through search. You can go through all the different sections, which is quite useful when something new's come out to see what's going on. So that one's not too bad. What does that one give me? What I might have to do is tweak the terrain a little bit after I popped that in. About there. As you can see, it took away the mushroom that I overlapped. Now I'm going to need to grab and move that light. What I want to do is grab and move that light to there, duplicate it, and pop it on the other side. This one can be there, and I want to rotate it out that way. And there's a large rock there I don't want, so that can go away. And then I'm going to come down here and just tidy this up a bit. I will probably make sure there is a quiet route after you go under the bridge to get out this way without totaling your canoe. Or I might put a sunk canoe up there. Who knows? Currently, sadly, I can't populate it with fish. He says, punning to the effects, this is where it will probably turn up if it ever does. We have our bridge in. Again, we have some rocks that I don't really want, so I'm going to tidy things up a bit. The pre-building tools are really useful, but you do need to come in and kind of then make it your own and do that. They're part of the terrain, so they can probably get rid of those. And then up that, copy. That's not what I wanted. No, nor was that. What I wanted was the plus. So the plus copies an item. Control C copies properties. And currently Control C is the only thing that you can use that wide area for multiple selection, though there are requests and they're working on adding that on a later update. And yeah, the devs are great. They're very active in the community and they are constantly working, especially on things like those little quality of life improvements. But I can't wax too lyrical about them. So we're looking currently at our boat, so we probably want a little bit of a dock just here. So let's just move that light out of the way. Objects again, dock. I know I've got dock objects, but they're obviously not under that, so at that stage I'm going to come down and look at utility. Mining equipment, no, we may have some of that in a bit. This is going to take several sessions, so we've looked at the rowboats. Haven't sunk one yet, but that's coming. Structural pipes, they're probably coming as well. Traps, most definitely are going to be coming. Pools, maybe. These are all bridges. I don't want bridges. I know there's docks in here somewhere. Hence, as I said, as things grow, I wonder what I do. No, that won't do what I want to do. You can, as I will show you shortly, adjust the height of objects once you put them in. It's a fairly new thing. But it's something we're all liking quite a lot. I'm going to use a metal platform. Now I'm going to turn off collisions, and notice when collisions goes off you get that little up and down arrow. But what I actually want, oh come on, is this thing to rotate. That's better. To rotate, and then just drop down to about there. And collisions are off, but collisions off will not allow it. For some reason it's not playing quite the way I want. Let's take it out there, that's better. So it will let it collide with the terrain. Duplicate. And again. And then I'm going to grab my boat and just tie it up alongside. Stairs up is unlikely to give me what I want, but I'm going to go and have a look. What I'm probably going to have to do is find a smaller object, because if I look at these stairs, even if I scale them down, as I'd need to, it's not going to work. Let me mute for a sec. That's better. Didn't want to deafen you. If you've had enough patience to listen to my voice this long, congratulations. You're doing better than my wife. She's usually got enough sense to have tuned out by this point. So, oh no, didn't want to do that. Zoom in. So what I'm using is Control and the mouse button to rotate. So you've got fixed rotation, then you get 45 degrees if you hold Shift, and then you get more detailed if you go to Control. Sorry, 45 degrees on Alt. But I still don't want that, I want that. And I want to drop the height down to about there, because what I'm going to do, just for scale, I'm going to grab a token. I'm going to grab a bard, because barbarian would be a bit radical. So yes, that scale works. Go away, Mr. Bard. But we're tying up the boat. So, back up here. Bollard. Mooring bollards. Interestingly, that one actually has a rope on it. Now, I don't know whether that'll do what I want it to. Because some of the ropes don't need a double, so you can go away. And I'll have the single. And then, so, if we look around the side here, corners enable you to scale. It's a fixed scale, it doesn't allow you to do any individual angles because of the way the models are created. I'm going to grab a second one. Control copy. Control V. There. No, it's not letting me do it. Because it's not quite the same object. So I'm just going to scale this by eye. Control. Come on, rotate wheel, aren't you? Unwanted shift. Go figure. That's closer. And I can just go down to the other end. Back into objects. Rope. Now some of these will snap. Not certain any of these. So if I get a connected pole, I get a second connected pole. You see, they snap to each other. So let's do this. Now, the snap has very limited control at the moment. You all the way down. Then I'm going to run you to the end of the boat. And make it black. And then height to there, because any lower and it starts to look weird. And then duplicate. Now, see, that's the problem. It's close enough that I'd need to take it out there to desnap it. So I'm just going to leave that single center front point. And we have a dock. But I need more on the dock. So let's go to lights. And so one of those go forwards. And one of those going backwards. Now remember, I may be doing stuff with the lighting now that will get tweaked later when we drop the lights again. And then I need another one just to sit on the side of the boat there. But remember, this is a fairly small boat, so it's only a two-person. And again, I'm going to take that to the deep amber. Didn't mean to do that. Control Z, undoes. Now, I did move that, so let's do what any sensible evil mastermind will do, and have a couple of lights either side. Dag, just as a note, please don't start singing any of the songs from Phantom of the Opera, to be honest. Now, Music of the Night was what I was thinking, but any, just don't do it. So we have a nice little dock. We're going to want a larger area, and I've just decided that I haven't made this map big enough. So I'm going to grab my corner and I'm going to increase the size of my map. You can see the numbers, the number of hexes, so that's now near a 65 by 65. And it's now going to go off and think to itself for a minute or two while it expands the map. Then what I find is it's rewritten everything and I have to redo it all. That would be annoying. Now, when you're working with larger maps, it can take time depending on the power of your machine. The beast I have to my left over here is very powerful. I've got 96 gigabytes of RAM, I've got a 16-core 32-thread processor. My graphics card, which is also what would be involved in doing a lot of this, isn't as powerful as it could be. It's still a 2080 Super, but we are in the world of the 4000 series, so it's potent. Delete that rock. I'm going to have to reopen up that, and I might do another expansion in the other direction. So what did I go to? 65, 65. Let's go out this way to 75, 75. I'm sure there's a song like that. Not sure there's a good song like that, but I'm sure there's a song like that. So again, it's building itself out, but what that's going to do is give us more space on each side so that we can make sure this is a truly impressive Evil Lair. So the Dam Challenge is given on a Saturday and it runs for just over 2 weeks to not the next Friday, but the Friday after. So 13 days away, but it's got to be in on that Friday because they've got to have time to actually assess. So now we've got a bit more cave space to create the Evil Lair, which we can go on either side. I'm just going to go back and have a quick look at the lighting. Hot tokens, lighting, and just kill it. Go back to that, bring it up just a fraction. So, we're not doing badly. We've got light where we want it. We've got a bit of light scattered around the place. That can be controlled. Back to white. Back to white. So, we are winning. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and re-carve out this. Am I? No, I'm not going to carve out the river. I'll see what I want to do with that later. So I'm going to come here, but carve cave. And what that will do is carve more cave space out at the cave level. Now I'm not messing about here, so let's go for a fairly large area. And as you can see, it just carves it all out nicely. It's placing in rocks, more mushrooms, I can take those away. But if I want to put in some rooms and develop this into a true Evil Lair, then I need some space to work in. So that gives me a starter space. I'm going to shrink this down and just open these out a little. There we go. Make sure that they're both viable. So you can see I've actually not been that accurate, and I've left lots of little pointy bits in there. So let's go back to Carve Cave. That's not an uncommon. Oh no, they're stalactites. So, objects, paint objects, erase objects. And this will erase everything. Mushrooms, you name it, but in here, I don't particularly mind. It can be annoying that you can't select what you're erasing. So now what we have is all that was left when I didn't tidy it up that well. And again, back to terrain, Carve Cave. Now this is wood, unless I come up to, is it paint objects or is it in rooms? I haven't got any rooms. No, I don't think they've put it in yet. On some of the others, when you're creating rooms, you have the ability to turn on and off adding objects. That will appear in caves at some point, but it's not there now. But what I need is to flatten some of this terrain that isn't actually flat. And then I can just very quickly come back and make all of this stuff go away. That's a lot easier and quicker than the flattening. And there we go. So we have a nice big space in place. We have a little docking point, a river to go over, some cave, and an evil lair. Now what I'm going to do here is start drawing in rooms, and as you can see, we've got a variety. So I can create a bottomless pit, a blood canal. Yes, we're going to have fun with some of these. I haven't done a clear canal, I've done a river there. So let's just have a quick look. Rock dig, go. So when you're creating rooms, let's zoom in. So turn off rock dig. And this is creating pits, so they're digging down. But when you're creating rooms, you just draw the shape you want, though you can come into AI settings. Oh, and it's only set to regular room, possibly because I've done that. There is an option for organic rooms that can spawn anywhere. Edit room. So, show ceiling in cinematic mode, that's what we want. And this is saying theme, rock dig. And what do I want the AI to include? Remove rooms. Remove. And it's gone. Add rooms. So pits have to be done as a regular room. They can't be done freeform yet. But if I come into a crypt, suddenly you see it lights up and I can do an organic room. And what an organic room does is stops it being square and just moves around what you've got. That's actually not what I want right now, so I'm not going to turn it on. So, crypt, burial chamber. So, I'm going to have a good sized burial chamber. Dag needs somewhere to sleep at night. There we go. And what I'm going to be doing is creating caves and then putting little rooms in off those, or just putting stuff out in the area, as I will go do in a moment. So what I'm going to come over here is back in terrain, not painted terrain, raise terrain, brush size small, and as you can see I can bring it in nice and tight against the side of this room. Now the next update that they're working on as we speak, the busy little beavers, is treasure. So they're building a treasury. That bit's quite nice. That's actually not the most important part about what they're doing. The most important part about what they're doing is they are adding in the ability to import custom models. Now there'll be rules on that because of the way the system works, and it will probably take specific knowledge and the ability to create, but they will all be existing through the Steam Workshop. There isn't going to be any kind of paywall on it. Last time I heard, they want to keep everything the way all these maps are, nice and free. So that's going to be really interesting as it comes live. And suddenly what you can do and the models you've got available in this will be huge. They have very deliberately worked to keep out any form of gore or any form of adult content in any shape, manner or form. This isn't because the developers approved or anything. This is because of the way licensing and ratings works, and if they do any of that, it will suddenly gain an 18 rating, and if you're not 18, you won't be able to utilize the software. So that's why they're doing that, and yeah, I fully understand that. I started role-playing and doing this kind of thing when I was 13, so I'd love to have had resources like this, and it would be very annoying if I was someone young who was just getting into the hobby and I found that all the really cool tools couldn't be used because they all had high ratings. So just so you're aware, if you wonder why there is so little gore, so little, it is very deliberate. They have some that push the borders. One of the worlds they've got is kind of a area of bones. So back to Carve Cave. Shrink you all the way down because I want you small. And carve out those walls a bit, just so you can just get through to the door. I'll remove that piece of rock. Objects, delete. There we go. Not certain I will keep that door. And I don't think we need this many. So all I'm doing here is removing a lot of the items that were in there. If I came through with my remove brush, it would remove everything. What I'm just trying to do is turn collisions back on so things snap for starters. Level things out. And if we can do that, let's put that there. It's being annoying, so I'm just actually going to remove those. keep seeing clutter as I work and just quietly deleting it as I do. So let's... Okay, I'm going to tweak this fairly heavily in a moment, and I'm just going to delete that, because they're not playing nice. So the best way to do this, as there aren't half snaps, which is really quite annoying. Collisions, actually no, collisions can stay on. So I can just go control. And then we have to do this and eyeball it. Cursor. And then eyeball that the same way, using the two to balance each other out. Duplicate. I don't want to leave poor Dag in the dark. No, these are only going to snap towards it. Unless I do something radical like turn off that. I do like that. And then turning off the bulk of the light from the system. My former career was working in theatre as a technician, and one of the things I trained most heavily in was lighting design. I did a good amount. I did the lighting design for the international premiere of Disney's Tarzan, which was nowhere near as impressive as it sounds. I was on a cruise ship. And just a regular amount of stuff. Because Disney actually would rather just do that and not pay any more money if they can get away with it. At least they did back then. That was in the late 90s. They are a very different company these days. I can't say whether they are any better or any worse. I can only say that I wouldn't work them again. Not that I didn't meet lots of really, really wonderful people. I worked a lot of hours. This is just big and pain, so I'm going to... Let's get you back where I want you, on that line. All I'm doing here is actually making sure that when you look at the sconces, they look the way they should, and they're not disappearing into the edge of the scenery because they were put in place with collisions turned off. That becomes a major issue, and I'd like to go and tidy up. The headache I'm having here is it's trying to run with the level of the walls. Now I can then go and fix that with height, but I'd rather not have to. There we go. Oh, got to remember to deselect. And let's go back to lighting. And just kill it. There we go. Objects. Pedestal. No. That's what I wanted. There's a funeral beer, not beer. And right, coffins. There is a really cool mummy one coming in the new update. So we've got some more functionality here. I'm going to move that off to one side, and I'm just going to increase the size of this because it doesn't quite do what I want. There we go. So the coffin has space. Yep. It will all move together now I've done that. Put that there, and then just straighten the coffin up. So, doors will open and close the doors. Again, go for a black coffin. So, we have our tomb appearing. What I can do is also, if I come back into terrain and go to paint, rather than having the green, which I don't really want, I can paint the terrain and just change it to some more solid rock texture. And I can go around and do the rest of the texture like that later, but right now I'm just thinking of this specific area. That one might be actually slightly better as Slightly darker. Yeah. That looks more chiseled out. So we have our first room, and there will be more added into it. In fact, let's add a bit more. Let's have a font. I want a lava font. I know what I want. I'm hoping it's going to let me do it. If not, the font will go away. I want a blood font. Because, you know, generally, when your vampire lord wakes up in the morning, he's going to want something to drink. And then, just because your vampire can equally be refined, I'm talking about Daggs, but hey. You can clean up on the other side. So a nice treasure chest to attract people's attention before they get to his coffin. Then a far more real treasure chest. Find it. And again, I can't find, so if I go to furniture, cupboards, quite do what I wanted to. Delete that because it's not going to do what I want, because I want to put a closet in. Because what good is it being the Dark Lord if you can't wear something tasty? This will let me do what I want. Right. So I'm actually going to duplicate it because it's easier. let's have well, visions are on. That one on that side. Now, of course, I'm not going to put in a mirror because Vampire Lord. But that gives us a nice little home. Now I'm going to come over, save as. I should really have saved earlier. I can't say enough. Save often. So we've been going for 55 minutes. Generally, I would have wanted to have saved probably at least every 15, so that if everything fails, you don't lose too much. Though there is a good file recovery built in, and call it Lair of Dag, double G, and save. Now the other place you can save is Steam Workshop. And what you'd do is you'd generally find the view you want. That will do for now. Steam Workshop, publish map, map title Lair of Dag, and unless you're finished and want it to go public, private, only you have access, published. Oh, must fill out a description. And off it goes. Now, the big thing is the only way to update a map that's already been published is to go to the one, download it, and open the map from the Steam browser rather than doing it locally. But you can publish at any time. So I can do all of the base work locally, publish it, and then just download it if I'm updating it after that stage. So that will about do it for this first one in this series. As I go through and create all of the different parts of this map, I'm going to come back. So this is only episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting. I've got to find my ability to talk again. But come along for the next one. Follow the chain. Remember to see when they come out. Hit like, hit subscribe. They're going to come out fairly quickly because I only have till a week on Friday to get them done, to get it in for the challenge. And I'm going to publish as I finish and as I get the quick bit of editing that needs to go on the front. So remember, like, subscribe. Everything will get posted to Instagram. It all goes from there into Discord. So come and follow us on Instagram, join the conversation in Discord, and tell me what you think. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you want to know. Any ideas you think I can add into this map, let me know. All down in the comments. And with that, I'll see you for the next one. Bye.